Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Today is a pagan holiday, so most places are going to be closed. So didn't go to the gym this morning, and it is a Thursday. This year, it's a Thursday. Our family does not observe the pagan holiday where they cut down a tree, fix it straight, decorate it with gold and silver. That is in Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 1 through 5. It's pretty obvious how they're worshiping the pagan god, the pagan mighty ones. Gotta watch what I say because I'm learning that words are very important and very important. And I really respect people who have fought the good fight, have dug deep, and have exposed all these things. So my message today is to not bow down to idols, to not bow down to other mighty ones. Yahweh Sevo is the only Elohim that's worthy of our praise. He's the only mighty one that, in my mind, is even a mighty one that I would put in the mighty one categories. But I guess other people say that there's other mighty ones back in the day. The ancient Israel would they wouldn't even utter the names of other mighty ones. So other Elohim essentially. So I just want to say Baruch Yahuwah Sebaot. My Palal, which is like petition to the Most High Yahuwah, is that today you have shalom, agape in your home, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Every day should be wonderful ultimately, but keep you from temptation and from bowing down. Because they actually did a study, a scientific study, that 75% of people will bow down if the rest of the people around them are doing the thing that could even be false or not good. They'll go along with it. So just keep that in mind. But I will not bow down to the mighty ones of this world, even if I die or am persecuted. But we're not supposed to celebrate the pagan holiday where they cut down the tree and decorate it with silver and gold. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1 through 5. Loving people is reminding them what the Word says. If you don't want to know what the Word says, then go be lukewarm somewhere else. You might as well be cold. You might as well go all in with the pagans. So, but that's my daughter right now. She's about to come in here. So, I didn't really have too many places I could go in our place to make a video, but I've made a dedication to make a video every day. I am walking with Yahuwah, YouTube channel, and ultimately he came for the widows and the orphans and the lost children and the lost tribes. So everybody wants to get caught up in race and where they come from, but the scriptures literally says in the end days they're going to talk about genealogies. Come on, wake up. You don't want to fall into that. It's we worship in spirit and truth. Revelation says all kindreds, tongues, and nations. We don't worship a man. I don't worship a man. I don't worship you because you have darker skin than me. I don't care about your skin color. Nobody should care about it the way someone looks or who they think they are. You know, I know many people with very high melanin, very dark skin, whose grandfathers were very much light skin, what the world calls like white or something, you know. I just say higher and lower melanin because we all have melanin, so wake up. Wisdom and knowledge and understanding will set you free because the truth and Yahuwah's ways are the truth in the way and the life. And we have to stick with this, and we have to follow his instructions to us and his commandments to us. Their life to those who find it. We don't worship men. We don't worship other mighty ones on this earth, and we don't bow down because it's fun or it's this or that or you want to do this. I don't live my life for fun anymore. You know, I don't go work my job to take care of my family because that's what I want to do. I would love to sit at home and just eat food and chill and wait for the Mashiach to come. But realistically, I got to take care of our family. And it says that a man who doesn't provide for his own household is worse than an unbeliever, and he's an infidel to the faith. So I have to work. I have to work because that's what Yahweh's word says. And don't bow down to the things of the world. You don't need to bow down to the things of the world. There's nothing in this world that you're not getting anything that you get to take with you. The thing you get to take with you is your faith and keeping the ways of Yahweh Sabaoth. People will ask me, oh, will you really believe that book? Well, I'll say, do you believe in telling the truth? If they say no, I'm say, well, depart from me, because that's not the ways. I don't want to be around somebody who believes that we should lie to each other. And then they'll say, you really believe in the commandments? I'll say, yeah. Is it okay to be with somebody else's spouse? They'll say, no, that's a commandment. There you go. Once again, you're just backing up how real the truth is. So all these things are important. We don't have any other mighty ones before Yahweh Sabaoth. We don't have graven images. We don't have this false version of what he looks like. We don't have idols. We don't not honor our mother and father. My parents are gone. My mom and dad both died of drugs. My mom died of basically a fentanyl overdose, but she got heroin and she died. I found her dead. I lived with her at the time. Her and my brother. I was a grown man. Obviously, I didn't get to see her as a young boy, but I still don't bow down to the world, even though this world has been very harsh and cruel to me, and I've lived a very hard life, and anybody else in my shoes would probably give up. But I also have a message within this message. Yesterday I was at work, and I believe Yahweh gave me a mighty message. Ultimately, if he gave you a hard life or you're going through something very hard, press into Yahweh. Baruch Yahuwah for the hardships and the things that make us press into him. Because he's just separating the wheat from the chaff. The wheat and the chaff grow together. So you have to put your faith in Yahweh Sabaoth. There's no other way. There's no other way. Yeshua HaMashiach died for us, and Yahweh sent him. And ultimately, even Yeshua said, there's none good but Elohim, Yahweh Sabaoth. So you gotta stick with Yahweh. There's nothing in this world. It's only going to keep heating up and heating up. And people will say, oh, today, it's getting more wicked out here. Nothing new under the sun. It's been going on since the fall. So just keep that in mind. We're not special. We're not special. This isn't a more special time. It's always been special. He's like a thief in the night for a reason. Nobody knows when they're coming. Anybody who's gotten robbed in the middle of the night or something bad happens in the middle of the night, you weren't like, oh, I have a feeling someone's going to come tonight, Maybe you have. Maybe you have a discernment. So if you have, hey, yeah, we'll put a foot in my mouth. I'm cool. A wise man accepteth reproof. So, but it comes in when it happens, like, oh, raccoons snuck in and ate all the Cheerios or whatever it is, So it's the same thing. We're not supposed to know. And that's the wisdom. That's the power. But I'll tell you what, I had a death experience, I had an out-of-body experience when I was in the world. And I believe that death experience started making me want to tell the truth and being honest. Obviously, along my journey, I was still very horrible and all these things. I was a very broken boy, and broken people do broken things. I'm telling you, that's why Hasatan gets the people while they're young and wants broken homes, wants split up marriages and all that stuff. So Yahweh rebuke you, Hasatan. And we don't need to curse Hasatan. We let Yahweh do all that stuff. Ultimately, Yahweh is good. He's mighty. He can do anything. Anything. I've seen all of my enemies fall before me. Everybody who ran their mouth about me or had something to say, where are they at now? Where are all of my enemies? Where are all my enemies? They're my footstools now. It doesn't mean I want them to be beneath me in some mean jerk way. It means they are not around me no more. Yahuwah humbled them. He put them in a lowly spot. Even what I do at my job, I used to be the lowest at the totem pole in the company I work for now. Now I'm literally an assistant manager. It's not a glorified job by any means, but I have authority. Authority just means, hey, you go back and do your job. I'm going to do my job because I actually care about my job and I care about what I do, and I'm going to do a good job. Some people don't care, and those are the hyenas. That's why hyenas snip at lines. But don't snip at me, because I will show you who Yahuwah is, and I will do it through all of his fruits. I will love you. I'll palal for you. I'll lift you up before him behind closed doors when no one's watching, because you know what? That's when the enemies fall. Lift them up in palal. Lift them up to Yahuwah. Say, please, Yahuwah, would you touch their souls? Obviously, they're hurting. They don't know what they do. And I feel bad every time I've ever snapped on somebody in my life. And it's been, I would say, righteousness. Because the Mashiach told the Pharisees they're hypocrites. So ain't nobody going to correct me on that. You correct somebody when they're being a hypocrite. 100% call them out. If they're saying something and doing the opposite, you let them know what's up. There is no bowing down to that. That's the one time you have to let it out. Don't stay on that. If you see that person next time and they're trying to have peace with you and shalom, be watchful, because the serpent likes to size you up too. But also, you should show love back. Hey, how are you? Even though last time I snapped on that person or whatever, and rightfully so, they needed to hear what I said because they're being a hypocrite. I'll say, hey, how are you doing today, brother? You know, if they say, hey, man, I'm good. You know, because I've seen a lot of people who try to say something to me funny. They've come into my business, you know, customers, and say, hey, I'm sorry, I just lost my house. I was having a bad day, and I didn't mean to take it out on you. I'm like, hey, I've been there, no problem. Because ultimately, you think I want Yahuwah to be like, hey, depart from me because you're saying sorry? No. When I mess up, I say, hey, Yah, I'm sorry. I feel bad for that. I shouldn't even have said that. Why did I say that? You know, forgive me. And then I have to forgive myself. It's not blasphemy to say I forgive myself because I ask for Yahuwah forgiveness. He says that He's faithful to forgive. So we have to also forgive ourselves. Forgiving ourselves is not the same divine forgiveness that He forgives us with. It's saying, hey, I got to let this go because otherwise I'm holding on to a weight that I don't need to hold on to. That's what it is. It's not some papacy forgiveness where I think I'm the man of perdition thinks he can forgive people. It's not that kind of thing. But anyways, don't bow down just because other people are doing something. Don't bow down because you grew up in something that's not true. Because if your whole life you were taught to punch people in the face for saying the word blue, and you find out that's not cool, dude. So don't punch people for saying the word blue. Same thing with different pagan holidays and different things of the paganism and the paganistic ways. We don't follow that. If you really believe in the ancient path, if you really believe in Yeshua HaMashiach, the Mashiach, some people call him different names. Some people call him Yahusha. Some people call him Yahushua. I've heard Yahweh Shai. I've heard some pretty wild things. But ultimately, I don't say the J name no more because for me, what I've learned in my walk, I just don't believe like that no more. I studied it enough, and it's pretty obvious that it comes from the papacy. So ultimately, it is what it is, and the truth will make you free any day of the week. So I love you all. Made a video, nothing fancy. I don't do this for some kind of gain or whatever, but I know that Yahuwah he'll baruch me for doing what's right and doing what I say I'm going to do. I'm making a video a day. Today's a pagan holiday in this world, and my palal to you is, or my palal to Yahuwah for you right now, the person listening, is that you don't bow down to these wicked things because it's not of Yah. And at the end of the day, some people don't even understand the truth. They say, oh, how is it wicked? All these things lead to deeper wickedness. What did Hasatan do before he fell? Okay, he thought he could be like Yah. And that's the problem. It's like you think you understand divine wisdom from Yah. You think you understand, oh, I can do this. Why is that so bad? What did Yah say? What did Yah say? I'm going to end with this. In Bereshit, in Genesis, I've never heard anybody say this like this. And I believe, hey, Baruch Yahuwah, because I believe He gave it to me. And I'm gonna give you a gem. In Bereshit, which is the original word for like Genesis, in the original book, in the scriptures, before the serpent deceives Eve and Adam, well, he deceives Eve essentially, and Adam bows down to what his Shah, or his wife's voice. He hearkened to her voice. That's his problem. He shouldn't have hearkened. He should have hearkened to the voice of Yahuwah, not his wife. He could have listened and said, hey, I hear you. I hear that you want me to eat that and you want to eat that, but no, Yahuwah said we don't touch that. Boom. Done. Signed and sealed and delivered. So, but in Bereshit and Genesis, Yahuwah gave me a mighty message. You know, the serpent says, surely he knows you'll become like him. You won't die. You know, he said, have Yahuwah said, as Elohim said. And before that, why was the serpent saying he knows you'll be like him when before that moment happens? So before that moment, we was made in Yahuwah's image and likeness. We was made in His image and likeness already. The serpent got some little, technicality on how he worded it, but he said it something that Adam should have said. No, we was made in His image and likeness. We already are like that. Get behind me, Hasatan. Yahuwah will rebuke you. So, agape, shalom, and may the grace of our Adonai, Yeshua HaMashiach, be with you all, amen. And Yahuwah, my palal right now is that you baruch this wonderful person, these wonderful people listening. You baruch them and just lift them up in you, Yahuwah, in your ways, and let them see the truth, for the truth shall make you free. Shalom.